Hello, hello, beautiful soul. Hi. Let's pop this in. I have some really awesome things to share with you guys. Right. Perfect. So hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ali. I am an intuitive healer and now working from home, teaching moon magic, facilitating women's circles and all that healing, anything that's empowering, enable you to live a life of joy, to fulfill your passion, to fulfill your purpose, and that's my purpose to guide. So today is a day one. I've been guided to do a mini moon course covering all 8 cycles of the moon. So today's first one is the dark moon. So if you would like a workbook, the workbook tells you a little bit about the dark moon. It has a schedule for what we're going to do, which is also in the caption here, of all the 8 cycles that we will, 8 parts of the cycle that we will cover over the next 4 weeks. So there is a workbook that goes with, and there are journal prompts there as well. So the reason I started today, well, the date just kind of came to mind. The 16th of June, it was about 3 months ago, the idea popped into my head, and so I was like, okay, I'll just kind of roll with it. And then when I researched, I was like, that is on the dark moon, which makes full sense. So I was like, okay, I'll just flow with it. Hey, darling. So yes, today's one, we're going to start. Hi, Cherise. Hi, girls. Thank you for coming on. Hi. So yes, we're going to cover the dark moon today, how you can use the energy of today, the next couple of days, for your healing, for your growth, and to bring more joy and happiness into your life. It's such a powerful aspect of the moon cycle to use. It's actually my favorite for the reason it really shows me where I'm at. It's the most powerful part of the cycle. So when I talk about dark moon, okay, the dark moon is usually around days 10 to 11 past the full moon. It is like that end before the new beginning. It's those last couple of days before the new moon and the cycle starts again. So it's kind of like that really in between stage. So I always start a lot of my my moon journaling and stuff, and I always make sure I include the dark moon. And hopefully in this live I'll be able to kind of answer the questions as to why. So if you do want the mini moon course workbook, throughout this next 4 weeks I'll share all about the 8 aspects, and each of them will have a workbook. So there is a workbook if you go into lightanddivine.com mini moon course, and you'll be able to grab the free download there, which have your journal prompts and a little bit about it. So the dark moon is, as I said, it's around the 10 to 11 days. Now for me to be able to say, if you're not familiar with the cycles and you want to know what part of the cycle we're in, is I use the moon phase calendar, and it tells you, whether it's full moon, and you can set it to whatever, if you want to just know the full moon, want to know the new moon, or if you want to know every aspect of cycles. For me, I've been working with all of them consistently for the last 3 years now. So not just new moon, not just full moon, but I work through all of them. And it has enabled me to truly know me on a deeper level, my triggers, my gifts. All of it has come, and I've been able to embody every single aspect of it to enable me to truly live in my purpose and in my power and truly move forward. So it's really powerful. If you download these workbooks and you join me over these next 4 weeks, you will see how truly magnificent, truly powerful it is to really get to know you and being able to lead a life of more joy and happiness and purpose. So we've got the dark moon. Now, using the energy of the dark moon, it's a deep healing part of the cycle, which I mentioned earlier. This is when your energy will be at its lowest. It's a time where we go kind of really within. You may notice you can have that intuitive nudges, you can be a bit more emotional, and you can really feel it. It may feel, as the name suggests, quite dark right now. You may feel, as I said, like that low energy and the not wanting to do anything. And that is perfect, because the dark moon does bring us within. It's a part of the cycle that tells you to just stop, pause, assess. It's a time where we check in with ourselves and we take that time to just be quiet, just do nothing. And because the action phase will come in a few days when we are in the waxing phase. So these couple of days in the dark moon, you assess where you're at. Your self-care becomes paramount. And if you continue to push against the energy of the cycle, and when that's telling you to slow down, you may end up experiencing more stress and burnout through the cycle if you don't stop and pause. So the moon's really brilliant about us we are cyclic beings as well. As women, we are cyclic. So the moon is cyclic. We are 6% water. It makes sense that we are affected by the cycles, right? So when the moon encourages us to go within, stop, pause, and take that time. This couple of days, it's just been able to just sit in, maybe having an extra long shower, sitting in the bath, going for a walk in nature, meditating, whichever helps you to be able to just stop. If you're wanting to, reach for any sort of goals and things, just really, really take the time right now in these 2 days to do that self-care and just being quiet, being still, being present. It's a really, really strong healing phase of the moon that we often forget, which is a big, totally, Therese, me too. Always affected by the moon. And we can use the energies when we know the different parts of the cycle. We can check in with our bodies. We can check in with where we're at, what's happening. So during the cycle, so if we neglect this self-care, just that couple of days before the new moon, if we kind of neglect it and we notice that, we're really emotional, or we notice that there's that darkness or something that we are not listening to that's coming from within, it will come up again the next cycle. So it's really important to slow down and have moments to be able to just connect. So you take time out for self-care, meditate, dance, connect to your body, and just slow down just for that little bit, just for today. And this is your resting phase. So, just for today, this is one of our Reiki precepts, and that's just for today, I will rest and flow. It's okay if in the few days you want to take action, but just for today on the dark moon, your body will tell you. So so in the workbook, it'll show you some of the journal prompts about, what's trying to get your attention right now? What is darkest in your life right now? What is it that, keeps coming up for you? Any areas of your life that need attention? Is your body giving you signals that you aren't giving it the time to listen to? Have you had pain? Are you having mood swings? Are you crying a lot? Or whatever is coming up for you, writing it. So in the workbook, there is the journal prompts, and there is a note space as well for you to be able to write non-judgmentally. You do not need to judge yourself. Just whatever's coming up, write it down. Get it out, and then over the cycle, as I teach you through the next parts, it will show you how you're able to release it, what parts of the cycle to release it. Whatever's coming up for you, write it out on the notes. Whatever's darkest coming through. One of the ones, that I do find in this stage, say, for example, if you are new to meditation or you don't quite know what I mean about coming into your body, a simple one that I do is really just focusing on your breath, or dancing, or art, or walking. You don't need to sit and think. You have to have a completely clear mind, because that's not what meditation is about. You cannot just sit there and expect yourself to have nothing in your mind. You will have thoughts and things popping up, and that's okay. So meditate however is comfortable for you. If it's uncomfortable to sit, I know, for example, my mum, just sitting and breathing would be really uncomfortable for her. She would squirm around. But you know, if she had an amethyst stone, you can rub it. Something like rubbing that, or just doing 3 breaths. Breathing in, one hand on chest, one hand on belly, and breathing in so that you feel your belly rise. You know, breathe that just 3 times and go to your belly rises, and then out slowly. Something simple like that, being able to do it just 3 times, as deep as you can. Even if you need to hold it for a bit, and then as you breathe out, let go. Anything that comes up or needs to be moved, and then breathing it in again. And hold, and breathe out. Whatever comes up. The beauty about with the dark moon is, say, as you're sitting and breathing, just start noticing how your head feels, noticing how your shoulders feel. Are they tense? Are they up here? Noticing how your chest is. Is it tight? Are you holding your breath? You know, hand on belly. What's happening in your tummy area? You know, what's happening in your hips, your knees? Do you need to get up and move your pelvis? Yeah? Do you need to get up and just move your ankles? Do you need to move your shoulders? It can take just a couple of moments to, you know, just move however feels good for you. And then just letting whatever comes in, allowing it. This is where, when you slow down, you can start observing what's happening up here. You can start seeing and feeling and noticing the thoughts that are coming in and any patterns that are coming up. When you slow down, you can become the observer, and it becomes so much easier, as opposed to then engaging and your mind controlling you. You're able to then observe what's happening. And then the more you do it, the more you will know when you need to step out and have a little time for you. You'll know what feels good in terms of meditation, if you want to do some art, or if you'd like to move your body, if you want to do a sensual dance, if you want to do a really ecstatic dance, whatever feels good for you, this moment for your self-care, you do it. And sometimes, you know, as a mum, as a woman, self-care can be very, very foreign, but it is so, so essential. And I think it comes back to our own conscious choices, that we are worth this time. We are worth being able to step back. We do not need to be everything to everyone else if we are not here for ourselves first. Does that make sense? So just being able to just stop and give yourself a hug. Just say you're beautiful in the mirror. Have that time out for that. Absolutely have that time out for your self-care, doing something that brings you joy. Anything that brings you joy, even if it's just a few moments throughout the next couple of days. Noticing where your energy's at, noticing where you're sitting, and noticing your body. So if there's any questions, or if you need Any suggestions on self-care or anything on the moon cycles, please flick me a message or just comment below. Thank you, Cherise. I've noticed sensitive to the moon when it's out. Have to be careful. Absolutely, absolutely. There will be definitely times where we are more heightened through the moon cycle and our own cycles as well. And it does. The moon absolutely affects a lot of things. And it's when we bring it to awareness, what's happening in our bodies, how we're reacting, and what's coming up for us. When we're able to bring all of that to awareness, it helps us so much in order to be able to then start creating. Instead of reacting, we can then start creating a life that we actually truly desire and want, because we know what serves us and we know what works for us when we start loving ourselves that little bit more. Perfect. Thanks, Cherise. So yes, any questions, please let me know. I hope that's made sense. Please feel free to download the mini moon course and mini course workbook. And over the next, if you look through the caption, I've put the dates on of when I will be doing the next live. So over the next 4 weeks. So today's the dark moon, and in a couple of days we have the new moon. So the new moon, again, I'll pop on live. There'll be another workbook, and it will show you, this one here is when you start intention setting for the cycle ahead. And then I'll go through all 8 aspects right up past the full moon, through the waning crescent, through the waning gibbous, and I will explain what all of them are, how you can use the energy in that moment, and some journal prompts and that will help you for your growth, for your development, to lead you to a life of more joy and creation, really. And something that I'm really, really excited about is, as I go through this, I've been creating quite a few other little bonuses and things too that I'm working towards a moon course that'll cover more and more meditations and things like dealing with imposter syndrome, making a vision board, things like manifestation, how to create affirmations, and different rituals and things that you can use at different parts of the moon cycle, the full moon and the new moon, and things that will just really help empower you to be able to live the life of love that you deserve. So, any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you in a couple of days as we come into the new moon. So yes, next couple of days, look after yourself, take that time out, feel whatever's coming up, and if you need to chat, I am here, and I'll see you all again soon. Mwah. Thanks for watching.